Hey YouTube, this is going to be a video about how to make English toffee. It's really pretty simple and it tastes like you spent all day on it. So the first step, what you're going to do is you're going to get some sliced almonds. And I just got a couple bags from Kroger. These are it has about 1.5 cups in them. So I got 2 bags of those, and you're going to just spread them out on a cookie sheet. And then you're going to put them in the oven on 350 for about 15 minutes or so until they start getting golden brown. But about halfway through, you're going to want to shuffle them around and so they don't burn. Okay, I just took the almonds out, and you can see they're nice golden brown, and you'll know when they're done when they look golden brown and you can smell the aroma. Okay, so I just took the roasted almonds off my cookie sheet, and I'll let them cool down a little bit. Now I'm just going to put them in my food processor and blend them up just enough. Like, you don't want it to be a powder. You want it to be just small, but not all powdery. Oh, that's perfect. See how they're small, but yet not a powder? And then you can just put it in a Tupperware container and use it now or save it for later. Okay, after all the nuts are chopped up, you're just going to get some, and you're going to line the bottom of a baking dish. This is like a 9 by 13, or yeah. So you're just going to line the bottom, and you want to get every little corner. Fill all the holes. Okay, so you'll do that. Okay, first thing, you're going to want to melt a cup of butter, 2 sticks, and it has to be butter. It can't be margarine. And I use just some unsalted Kroger brand butter. But you're going to let that melt completely on medium heat. Okay, my butter's now melted. So now I'm going to add a cup of brown sugar. Now make sure when you are using this is going to get really hot. Make sure you don't have a spoon or a spatula that will melt, because this is going to get really hot and it's going to caramelize, and it will. I've had it melt spoons before, so this is a very heat resistant spoon. So you're just going to let this stir in and melt, and it's going to look chunky at first, and you're going to let it, let's see, right now it's 11:03, so we'll see how long it's going to take to do this, but it's going to come out looking like a booger. Yes. Pretty gross. And you want to keep stirring it pretty often. Get all the chunks out of it. While your sugar is caramelizing, you're going to go ahead and want to open 3 Hershey bars. Now these are just milk chocolate Hershey bars. They're the 1.55 ounce, 43 grams of Hershey chocolate. So you're going to want to open 3 of them. So I'll open this one now. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. And this is what it looks like. Still pretty runny. It's like the sugar and the butter are still kind of separated in there a little bit. But now what you're going to do is you're going to add 2 tablespoons of water. And then you're going to add 2 tablespoons of corn syrup. So I have to put the camera down there, but I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of this. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes, and it's now 11:13, and it's still thickening up. Just keep stirring it. Now, when it gets about this consistent, you're going to want to make a small cup of ice water. And I'll show you why in a second. But just have that near the pan. Just keep stirring it. There's my almonds. I took them out. Now, the almonds I'm using on this batch were some I already had that were in the freezer that I'd already made prior to this, but these are for my next batch. So don't try to roast your almonds while you're making your toffee, because the almonds have to be completely cool. Okay, now it's been on for about 13 minutes, and it's still getting a little thicker. Now what you're going to do, the way you know when it's done, is what you're going to do is you're going to get a little on your spoon. Remember that glass of water I told y'all to have? You're just going to get a little on your spoon, and you're going to drop it. Drop some into a cup of water. And then you're supposed to be able to immediately pick it up. And if it's crunchy, you know it's done. That wasn't even near close to crunchy, so we've got a little bit ways to go. All right, it's been about 19 and a half, maybe almost 20 minutes now. So let's do one final test over here and see if it's nice and crunchy. Oh, nuts fell to the bottom. Yep, I think it's good. So, it's all nice and boogery. Don't want it to start burning, so it's time to move it over. So yeah, that took about 20 minutes. I'm gonna try to do this best I can, but I can't do it holding the camera. So, I'm gonna put it right there. And what I'm gonna do is I just took all that caramelization, and I'm just gonna pour it in a pan. This is on top of those nuts I had laid on it. Okay, so yeah, you just kind of lay it on there. It's kind of hard to smear out, but that's just kind of how it fell. So anyways, okay, so I laid out my toffee on there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay those chocolate bars just on top. All 3 of them. And then I'm going to let them sit for a couple minutes. Here, I'm going to come on this side and get more light. I'm going to let them sit for a couple minutes until they're all glossy looking. Right. These chocolate bars have been sitting on here about a minute. And like you can just touch them. Oop, where's the camera? You can just touch it and see that it's all melted. Okay, so then now we're going to top with some more crushed almonds. All right, looks good. So, okay, so now what you have to do is you just I kind of like pat it a little bit so it gets deep in the chocolate and toffee. But don't rush it. You need to just let this sit out overnight and harden up. And in the morning you can have it and taste it and it'll be all delicious. But if you try to rush it by putting it in the freezer, the chocolate and the toffee will separate. So you don't want that. So just be patient and let it stay overnight. And I promise you, it'll be such a huge hit anywhere you take it. I know it takes a while, but the ingredients are pretty simple and it is so delicious. Okay, so now the toffee has sat overnight. It's the next day and it's hard now. So now to cut it up, what I do is just get a knife and then you can just break it into little pieces. There you go, there's your toffee. You can have the toffee part and then the chocolate and the nuts on both sides. So